This is me, Spoon Beast. This video is brought to you by TheMajoraMask. He's a good friend of mine and a loyal subscriber for a long time. You can see his profile here in the description. It is thanks to him that these new videos are going to be dished out for the next little week. So big thumbs up to him, and thank you for the idea, man. Now on with the video. Okay. Hi everybody. Me again. Just getting into good camera position here. So yeah. Another video from me, and today's going to be a pretty interesting topic because, well, I'm going to be doing a countdown to E3, but it's for a certain thing. It's countdown to Café, the countdown to Nintendo's unveiling of Project Café. So what we're basically going to be doing is, I think we should talk about a possible game per video. So this one's going to be one game I think could be unveiled. As the week goes on, we talk about potential games until E3, where I give my opinions on the overall week that it went by, and especially the overall unveiling of the console itself, whichever day that happens to be on. So yeah. So today's countdown to Café episode for Project Café is going to be a possible new Super Smash Bros. Game that could be released or even unveiled at E3. Now there's this rumor going around, there's this title screen, whether it be photoshopped or not, it looks pretty legit. We won't only find out until the actual E3 itself, with the new Smash Brothers game entitled Super Smash Bros. Strife, and it's this rumor going around that it's going to be shown at E3 2011. So that's definitely cool, awesome, if you will. It seems like I always need to talk about Smash Brothers in some video. Like, I started off my YouTube career with Smash Brothers. I'm going to continue my YouTube career with it. This is awesome news to me, if it's real, which I'm hoping it is. We'll only find out during that week when E3 actually happens. But if it is real, this is huge news to any Nintendo fan, because it's a huge series for any fan. It's probably the biggest seller that Nintendo's had since the GameCube, because when it first came out, it was kind of a cool little idea, but I don't think it was, that huge for the Nintendo 64, like other games like Super Mario 64 and, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time definitely trumped it in terms of being more popular. So, yeah. But with GameCube, it came along and unveiled Melee, and that became a huge hit for the system. I think it actually was the biggest selling game for that system. Quote me if I'm wrong. And then it became just as big with Brawl, but, some of the other more gimmicky games like Wii Sports, Wii Play, those were all far bigger than, they sold way more than Brawl based on their gimmicks. But as far as a franchise continued game, I think it sold more out of any other game. Maybe Mario Galaxy beat it, both times it came out, but it's still a pretty big deal. And every time that Nintendo debuts a new console, since the Nintendo 64, it's always had its own installment. I don't think they're going to stop now. They know what kind of money that Smash can generate, so it could be real. Like, the title screen looks pretty legit. The only thing that's kind of weird about it is that HAL Laboratories' name is in the credits for it. And, unless they don't have Sakurai working on it, then I guess it's just a HAL project. We'll find out. That's the only thing that's kind of weird about it. Like, the text for Smash Brothers looks like it has since Melee. Like, Melee and Brawl both had the same kind of logo, and then it's got its Strife with lines going through it, and then, the copyright 2011 thing, Nintendo. It's HAL's logo that's kind of making me think it might be fake, because that would mean it's entirely in HAL's hands, like the new Kirby games are. And I guess Sakurai, if that's true, might be kicked out of the project, and I kind of don't think Nintendo would kick him out of it, because he's been in charge of the past 3 Smash Brothers games. like the head director of all 3 of those games. I don't see why in the 4th game they'd kick him to the curb. Yeah. So that's kind of the only weird thing about it. As far as a game could go, there's plenty of I would like to see everybody from Brawl return in Strife, but add on a lot more characters to that. We've got to break the 40-45 character mark sometime. We've got to make this, especially since it's the 4th game, and it could be a launch title. If it gets announced at E3, that means it's possibly going to be a launch title. You got to have a big impact, and you've got to have a crap load of characters. Like Melee totally blew the first one out of the water in terms of how many characters were in the game. It was just huge. A lot of them were kind of clone characters, but still, the selection was there, and it was huge. It was a huge, vast improvement to the roster from the first game. I feel that, and that was a launch title. I believe Melee was a launch title, or it was released shortly after the launch of the GameCube. So with this, I kind of think that Strife should double, or at least make a bigger roster than Brawl, because if it's going to be a launch title, it needs to feel like it's huge, like it's that big game, you know? So, yeah. We'll see. Yeah, that's even if Strife is legit. I kind of like the name, too, Strife, because if you don't know what that is, that means like a heated argument or conflict. To have a very heated argument or conflict, and, you know, every game's been based off that. A Melee, Brawl, now possibly Strife. I just like the names they choose for these games. So, yeah, so I think the roster should be bigger than Brawl's, at least considerably a little bit bigger. Like, possibly break 40-45 characters. I'm sure they can do it. Take everybody from Brawl and just add, like, 10-15 new characters, like Geno. I'd like to see Geno in Strife. Hopefully it happens. I just think, you know, a lot of people say he's overrated, but I like the character, and I think, you know, with his star abilities, he could make a really, really interesting character in Strife. They just need to try and get him away from Square Enix. I don't think they tried last time. I'm sure that if Square was being offered some money, they'd let him and get a share of money from the game. I'm sure they'd let Nintendo put him into the next Smash Brothers. So, as far as the top character goes, I would love to see Geno in Brawl. He'd make a really, really interesting character. He could be like the game's next, you know, Mr. Game & Watch or Captain Olimar. You know, just that unique moveset that I always love, because I fell in love with Game & Watch and Melee. I fell in love with Olimar and Brawl. And I went into Brawl thinking Diddy Kong and Sonic were going to be the best, and I ended up playing the shit out of Olimar. So, yeah. I was excited for him too, but not nearly as much as the other two. So, yeah, hopefully they can get the rights to Geno for this game. You know, it'd be cool to see some new villains in the game, like maybe Ridley from Metroid would be pretty cool, a big giant dinosaur thing. You could shrink him down, obviously, for the game. I'd just like to see a little more villains, like from major franchises. Like, we've already had Ganondorf and Bowser from Mario and Zelda alike. So I'd like to see a little... And we have Wolf, too, from Star Fox. He's somewhat of a villain. He's not the main villain, but he is somewhat of a villain. So let's add a little more villains into this. So I'd like to see Ridley. That'd be pretty cool. He'd be pretty cool to be in the game. Just for a sheer power character. Like, usually, like Ganon and Bowser are power characters. They're pretty solid. Like, they have the big power moves. So I would see Ridley kind of having that, you know, powers with his tail. He could swat people, you know, big kicks and headbutts and just throw people around. That'd be pretty cool. There's no way I don't think Andross could be in this. He's basically a giant floating head. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what he's looked like in every Star Fox game that I've played. Just this big head that shoots things. He was a assist trophy in one of them. So, yeah. You know, a lot of people were hoping for Bowser Jr. to be in, little Bowser to be in this one. As long as he's significantly different from regular Bowser, that'd be pretty cool, in my opinion. Yeah. As long as he's completely different, just a small little Bowser running around, but he has completely different wacky moves. Like, bases moves off of the stuff he does in, like, Mario Galaxy and Mario and Sunshine. Use those little, cool little weapon things that his little inventions. That'd be pretty wicked. So, yeah, I'd be all for that as long as he's not a mini clone of Bowser, because the little thing doing power attacks, that just wouldn't work. So, they need to think up something creative for him. again, every Smash freshens up the roster in some way or another, so I'm just trying to think of, new characters. As far as more third-party characters can go, this is a dream character of mine. It would probably never happen, but I would like to see Sora from Kingdom Hearts in a Smash Brothers game. It would never happen, but that would be awesome, because, the attacks he could do with the Keyblade, he could, he'd be a character like Link or Marth, but he'd still have his own edge to him. I would play the shit out of him. I just think it'd be cool to play Sora in a Smash Brothers game. That's a complete dream that would never, ever happen, but, yeah, I think it'd be pretty awesome. So, yeah. As far as other characters can go, let me just type in Super Smash Bros. Roster and see what pops up. Because when Brawl was coming out, everybody made a fake roster that was like 10,000 characters big. So we'll just wait for my Google to pop up. I got 5 minutes left on here. I'm running out of time, but... Oh, great. Okay, so Super Smash Brothers roster. So, some people made like 10,000 character lists. It's crazy. Okay, let me pop one of these up. Oh, another personal favorite choice of mine to be in it, next to Geno, would have to be Balloon Fighter. Much like the Ice Climbers, he was a character in his own series a long time ago. But could you imagine floating around the scene with the balloons? Oh, that'd be just awesome. I would love it. It'd be pretty legit. Little Mac from Punch-Out, same thing. He would be epic in Smash Brothers. Why did they not put him in Brawl? They made him an assist trophy, but I still can't wrap my head around why he wasn't a character in the game. He's from an original fighting game from the NES. You think he'd fit right into the roster, but hey, I'm not complaining, whatever. Mega Man would be pretty cool. He's another third-party character, but I'm sure, Sega let Sonic be used in Brawl for money. I'm sure, Mega Man would be used if they paid, Capcom the right amount of cash. A lot of people wanted him in Brawl. It never happened. He wasn't even an assist trophy or anything, so, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure Capcom would allow it. Whatever. There's plenty of good characters. Crystal would be pretty cool. Just don't make her much like Fox. Have her use that spear thing that she uses, and everything's all cool if you base the moveset off that. I hope Ganondorf, because I'm pretty sure he'll be in it again if there's another Smash Brothers. Just don't make him Captain Falcon. Give him his own moves, preferably with that big-ass sword that he uses for, in the actual Zelda games. Why can't we use that? Sukupan would be pretty cool. I don't know if you guys know of him, but he's basically this weird character from the NES. He looks pretty legit. He's like this floating blob thing. He's from a fighting game forever ago. I'll see where he's actually from. Is the main robot from Joy Mech Fight, and it's a Nintendo game. When did that come out? Was that like Japan only? Yeah, it was a Japan only release, and it was for the NES. So he would be pretty legit to have in Brawl. He's actually from a fighting game. He looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's enough for me rambling. I'm running out of time. It's like 13 minutes now. I've got 2 minutes left, so I might as well close it. So yeah, if that screenshot is legit true, and even if it isn't and it's named something else, but if Smash Brothers does get unveiled at E3 this year, who would you love to see in the game, and what do you hope to expect from it? Please put it up for debate down here. So comment, start the debate, start talking about this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out, and we'll continue the countdown to Café some other day.